Hey, Dap. Hey, Greg.
Good morning.
Good
Change
morning.
of
Happy Sick Day.
backgrounds, change of scenery for everybody. Don't move your
Don't
hands
don't
too
move too
fast.
fast. You're
Yeah,
you're you're handling it here. We do like unification though.
we
So
That's
do.
right.
yeah, we all now are proving that we're all part of the same firm instead of just talking about it.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, good. Well, as I was thinking about topics for today, we kind of keep a running little list, and one popped up that I know I've been dying to talk to Greg about and get his opinion on. He recommended the podcast to me, and I listened to it. Um, the gentleman's name was Scott Donald, who I believe he was interviewed. It was another gentleman's podcast. I can't remember the name. So, Greg, loop us in. But the gist is it was about kind of financial literacy for kids and shaping behaviors around money for your kids and kind of like how to teach them about money and really the value of money, if I remember right.
Yeah, that 100%. My kids are 12, 11, and 7, soon to be 8. And I listened. My wife actually heard this podcast first, and then sprinted over to me and said, "Hey, we got to implement this. We have to implement this." Because up until listening to that podcast, we were doing chores and calling them chores with our kids, and this is that's just one element of this. And you said financial literacy, Katie, which is a great kind of umbrella statement, and we found, at least from the education standpoint, this isn't a topic that is common at all in public schools, private schools, archdiocese schools, which my kids go to. So we needed to implement this on our own. So the gist of it is changing the perspective of work around the house.
Yeah.
And one of Scott Donnell's big initiatives is changing the word chore, because when you hear the word chore, that's negative. Who
Yeah,
wants to do chores?
right.
I mean, oh, I have 5 chores. You just immediately turn in a bad mood. At least I do.
Yeah.
And now I have to do chores, right? So instead of calling them chores, you make it a positive, and he calls them gigs. So if you're doing gigs, you are providing value to someone in the universe.
Yep.
And that's another big element that or important element that he has, is teaching your kids how to provide value.
Yeah.
And that's obviously going to be different for every kid. So part of the gig and provide value, how they merge, is creating a list, which we've implemented. It's been about maybe 18 months now, with all 3 of our kids, even our youngest, is these are the items that would be helpful to complete in the house, and we assign a dollar amount. So the kids on our fridge can go there and see, okay, well, if I play with our dog Theo, it's worth $5. As long as you play with him for at least 20 minutes. It's not a 1 minute throw the ball. Hey, I played with Theo. No, you got to complete the gig. Um, the difference between gigs and getting paid for, there's also responsibilities that you have for living in the house, making your bed, cleaning your room, making sure laundry's in the basket, etc. There's a list of, this is just what you need to do. You're not getting paid for it.
Mm.
So we separate them. So the key to this is establishing the worth of, what does that $5 mean? And if the parents continue to pay for everything, what does that $5 mean? It's meaningless for the child.
Yeah.
So the other side of the gigs is, okay, well, now the kids have to pay for things that parents normally just pay for.
The birthday present story was like so powerful. Is that what you were going to lead into?
This resonated so much, and this was actually Scott Donnell. He went through this story with, I forget whether it was his daughter or son, but when a kid gets invited to a birthday party, they have a gift that went to the store. The parents went to the store. They bought the gift. They brought it home. They wrapped it. They probably checked with the kid's parent to see what that kid wants for the birthday, and they're doing all of this work.
Right.
Your child shows up to the party with the gift, throws it on the floor, and then forgets about it, right? Or you're at the store and say, no, 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 I want this one. And meanwhile, it's $50 and you had a budget of 25. So then your child is starting to get frustrated about not getting the $50 gift, right? So the change, our kids pay for their friends' birthday gifts. We go to the store, they decide their budget, they pick something they think their friend is going to like, pay for it with their gig money, come home, they wrap it, they make the card. And the change of ownership that our children have when presenting the gift is just light years different.
And that was like very on brand with Scott's story. He was like, I watched all these kids throw these gifts in this pile. My daughter like made a point to hand it to the other girl whose party it was, and she really wanted her to open it. It was an appropriate timing with like where it was at the party, and she opened it and they were so excited and like it was yeah, it was really cool. But I think what it translates to and cast out is this kind of notion of value creation. And what does that mean, right? I think as children, at least maybe I'm speaking for myself, maybe Greg and Nav can confirm. I feel like, right, you kind of were raised to have a salary hope or expectation or um, a job title expectation. And really, this Scott Donald's model kind of shifts it about like what value are you putting out in the world? And the money is like kind of an afterthought to it, and it kind of will come. And it's kind of like kumbaya, but kind of cool. And I think there's a lot to it of just, it's not all about, oh, if I can only make 100K or if I can only get to this title, C-suite or whatever. It's more just about being a steward and giving back. So,
Oh yeah, a
Yeah,
hundred percent. And it's also avoids having to say, having the parent making the decision, yes or no. Oh, can I have 2 scoops of ice cream with sprinkles and Oreo and on a waffle cone, with the special sauce, chocolate
big
sauce.
money.
Instead, and then no, you're only allowed to have a single scoop. Oh man, why, and then it goes down that road.
Yeah.
When we show up to the ice cream store, whatever they want, they get whatever they want,
right.
Yeah.
and they pay
They're
for it.
paid for it.
And it's interesting, if they're hungry or, really want the ice cream, one kid will get the double scoop with the waffle cone, and one kid just gets a kiddie scoop because they don't really want the ice cream or they don't like the flavor. Instead of saying no, because they're always going to ask for more, right?
Yeah.
So it's very, it's an interesting concept. And obviously us in the financial planning world, the sooner that people can learn financial literacy and create good habits and what money actually means, how
Hmm.
are you creating value in the world, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
And it's just been a complete switch of perspective for my family in our house. So
I love that.
I would love to talk to him, and I could talk for
Right.
days on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and you have the most experience out of the three of us with actually seeing it and implementing it and the change that's happened. But now others who are listening and myself who don't have kids yet know what to look for and do in the future to try and communicate the value of money, the value of things, the value of your time, and why money isn't just created and given.
Yeah.
Typically you have to have some form of value that you benefit someone else in order to acquire the payment, which is cash or money. And because of that, the it shifts the perspective as they grow up to say, hey, the more I can help people, the more I can do for others, the more value I am to this world, and the world itself will actually give me a reward for that. And the way we get rewards in this world right now is through cash or money or salary or payments. And that'll create better humans, better workers, better business owners, better um, everything. So
Yeah.
I love that concept, and would love to continue sharing that throughout.
Yeah. And pro tip is Greg says he could talk to Scott Donald or Nav if you want to research and to spread the word to others because it's a cool concept even for adulthood. I mean, obviously not necessarily the gigs and earning the money, but just the value proposition and how you view money. He has a dinner table, whole community kind of page. I've dabbled in it, but my kids are not 12, 11, and 7/8. Mine are 2 and 3. So
Right.
we're getting there one
It'll
day.
right. It'll come. Well, and one last point, you have generally speaking spenders and savers in the
Yeah.
world, right? And our clients fall into one of those two buckets most of the time. And it's interesting, my three, who are the spenders and who are the savers. And the point I wanted to make is on the saver side is teaching them that spending money is also creating value
Right.
because you're supporting wherever you're spending the money. So we're trying to create a balance of saving and spending where it's good to spend. And I think that's a lost concept for especially like the baby boomer generation that grew up during the Great Depression and they're, oh, we got a hoard, we got everything that we have, we never want to give it up. And that is something to find that middle ground between saving and spending. So one kid is one side, the other kid, another kid is the other, and we actually have one that's kind of in the middle. But teaching them the power of both sides is also key.
Yeah, well, I'll make sure we add the link for the podcast in there so we can find it if anybody's interested. But awesome talking about it. We could do more episodes because gigs is just a part of it. So
Yeah.
there's more. So maybe the three of us will align to do another one.
We'll do part two.
Part
Sounds good.
two. Part two to come. All right, bye
All
guys.
That was
right,
good.
have a good one.